Welcome to City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Today I'm sitting down with one of the organizers of the Feed the Hunger that's been going on here in our community for about 19 years, Mr. Jake Sessions. Jake, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Alton, and good to be here to talk about something I like a lot.
I know that because you have been very instrumental in this for a number of years, and I say this is the 19th year.
19th year, if I'm correct. 19th year. I think Frank, before he died, I think he did mention something. We're going into 19th year.
Into 19 years.
And here we are again. So this is the people help.
For the
people for the 19 years.
19 years.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit about, because you mentioned Mr. Frank Cox, who is one of our former council person who is now deceased. Talk a little bit about how the program gets started, Jake, if you don't mind.
Well, I think back in, if I'm correct, back in '89, that's when I went on the radio. And at the time I went on the radio, there was no dinner going on. And so I asked the people in the community, I said, I don't have no money, but we have a need in this community. We have a need. And when I explained it to them, they said, let's go, we can do it, we can do this. And like I said, we didn't have no grant money, no scholarship, no nothing. Everything came in was just the community of LaGrange giving their heart out. This gave $5, this gave $10, this gave a bunch of collard greens out their garden, this gave some, just different people just came together and done something. And some kind of way I got that special bond and Bishop closing about it, and I wanted to go on and on and on. And so then Frank Cox came along. He said, well, Jake, you knew it. I did this before. Actually, a lot of things. That's okay, come on. Miss Fanny Sanders out of West Point, Miss Marguerite Evans, and there's a host of them. Most of them are gone now. Most of them are gone now. Most of them stayed with me 17 years. Then some went to the home, some went to permanent home, then some that was just ill and not able to help anymore. But they do give us their prayers that everything go well every year. But that's how I got started. After I asked everybody on the radio, 12 midnight, late night.
Up all night with Jake, right?
Yeah. What y'all think we ought to do? And they said, yeah, let's go do it. We can do this. Yeah. And let me tell you this story right here that has been very interesting. I like to tell whenever I'm out about. Now, every year, somebody give me $400, $100 bills. No name, just from a friend, keep up the good work. I said, every year, it's been there for the last 7, 8 years. What do you think about that? I got to do something right. Somebody think I do. Somebody think I do.
Absolutely.
They trust me to give me $400 to spend on the dinner. And I don't know who they are. I don't know who to be accountable to. You know what I mean?
That's a blessing.
Yeah, it is a blessing.
It's a blessing.
I think I'm doing the right thing when something like that happens. I think I said, you're doing right. I said, you're going to hear negative, you're going to hear positive, but some things just a fact.
Absolutely.
So just go ahead on that.
That's right. That's right.
And I just wanted to mention that. And we had one problem with the dinner that I could tell. I don't think it'd be detrimental, but it's true. 99, we fed, I think pretty close to 1,000 people.
Okay.
And we had, all the food got away, no food left, no waste, everything was just right.
And that's what we want.
That's right. That's right.
Everything to go right.
And Lord have mercy, we had $500 and something left. And I was so scared I didn't know what to do. So I said, well, if you don't put this money right, well, they're going to say you're stealing it, or taking it. And so I talked to Frank, but Frank put me on the spot. He didn't want to tell me what and not to. He wants to see what you my decision going to make.
Right.
So he kept sitting around just to give me that support that I needed. And so I asked the people on the air, I said, what do you think? I said, we're going to pay the bill, everything is okay. We got $500 some here. So this lady, she's blind, she's 97 years old. She said, keep for yourself, boy. You done did good all this year. Keep for yourself. I said, all right. Then another one called in and she said, yeah, you keep for yourself. That's your blessing. After everything been paid and everything. And after everybody talked me into keeping it, 2 weeks later, I kept holding to it. Somebody died. And I had to put the money on their hip, bury them. That's what God wanted, didn't it?
That's right.
That's what he wanted.
That's right. Absolutely.
And so I think that's the longevity of the program because of the way we handle it, the way we do it. We're not money hungry. We'd rather have food than have money anyway.
That's right.
But you account for it.
That's right.
But a lot of people look at us when you do stuff, you say, well, they're trying to get that money. But this has never been a money issue here. We have gotten money, but not no real money, like some people say $1,000. We get the food. You seen it?
Yeah.
You seen it? We get the food. Yeah, we get the food.
Absolutely. Well, let me ask you that, because in fact we're talking about, you talked about there's a need in the community. And as we have seen over the course of years here, especially back in 2007, 2008, when the economy really kind of tanked a little bit. And you're correct, I've been a part of the Feed the Hunger for a number of years, and even brought my kids over so they will understand the mission of giving back to people, those that are less fortunate. And we saw, during that time, even though when the economy was a little bad, that those funds, those donations never dried up.
They came on always. You're right about that. I didn't look at it that way either. We had every year some resources to feed people. Every year. That was never zombie, never bad. A holiday, everything just went okay.
That's right.
It's almost like God planned Himself.
That's right.
This is for my children. This is where it's going to be.
That's right.
And I tell you, we really appreciate you because you keep up with the numbers for us.
Well, thank you, sir.
But I tell you, it's been a joyful thing, and so many things has happened. Back during when Miss Pittman was over the housing authority, she cooperated with us a lot of stuff. A lot of use drop-off points over there too. We were scattered all about everywhere.
That's right.
And then we done went to Lafayette, West Point, Lynette, and the Valley. So we international.
That's right.
But resources come from these places.
That's right.
We don't take resources from LaGrange and go there. These people help.
That's right.
A lot of people there help out. Help out real good.
Well, let's talk about it because I know that this year, again, you're getting ready for the Thanksgiving dinner that's coming up. And it's going to be held at the Cannon Street School as the location that has been held at for the 19 years almost.
Almost, that's right. Yeah, because we started off at the Sandpiper Club one year, then was at St. Paul Church Kitchen one year. We've been flopped around before we got to the school.
To the school,
Thank
right.
God for the school. So
that's right. Well, talk a little bit about and some of the things that you're looking for as far as donations are concerned.
Okay, right now we really are looking for, the way I look at it, same thing we had for last year. We went through 50 turkey last year and 50 pounds of dressing, and I think about 40 cases of vegetables. My mama said, if you got plenty of vegetables, plenty of turkey and dressing, you got a meal.
You got a meal.
You got a meal. If you get no tater custard, no curry sauce in it, you got a meal.
That's right.
So we try to focus on a meal. But there are so many people that's asking to volunteer. We ask all volunteers to bring dessert. So we won't take none of the money we do get to spend on dessert. All volunteers bring dessert. And that way, that might be spent on the dressing, and the cranberry sauce, and
the main course.
The main course.
That's right, the main course.
A wholesome meal for our people, in the community. And we don't want to leave nobody out. And this is what we do.
That's right. And people come and you're talking about volunteers. Volunteers get a chance, opportunity to do a number of things.
Right.
You know, I can remember one year I was kind of like coordinating the delivery routes for people. Would people be able to still deliver this year?
Yeah, they still deliver. Because if you notice, when you're there, the biggest we do is delivery. We have less than 100 people sitting around. I hadn't figured out yet how to make that a little bit better, but I think if we had some kind of program, which we did try, which we waited too late. Most people are already going out of town. My choir be glad to come, but everybody obligated to be somewhere else for Thanksgiving.
That's right.
So those were things I ran into. But we'll push that burden on somebody else later on.
You're not trying to get out of this now, you just...
No, I'm just trying to get a little lighter road.
Okay. I understand.
Hey, a lighter road of it. Let some young folks come in and take it to the other level so we can see some more benefits. Because it's going good now. You like to leave something that's doing good. You want to leave them when it's going bad.
That's right.
As long as it's doing good.
That's right.
But we're hoping that our volunteers will come out like we usually do and just take part.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, and volunteers, do they need to call ahead or sign up
Just
anything?
Just show up.
Okay.
Show up.
All right. Okay.
Yeah. They'll be getting something this year they never got before at the school. They'll be getting a chance to meet me first.
Meet you first.
Yeah.
Okay.
you know, I usually don't never get there until late.
Later on, that's
so
right.
I'll be there first just to get a chance to meet me this time. Yeah.
Right.
I try to make a few changes, that's going to be beneficial to all of us. And I think I should meet everybody and make sure everybody's in place.
That's right.
Do my best.
Good. Well, very good. Because I know that you always do it, and Mr. Cox always there. I'm going to start naming names. I know that Bishop Darden is normally there. Miss Fanny, who's always
all the
the dressing, cooking.
There's a lot of us.
There's a lot of people. That's absolutely right.
And Miss Fanny used to stay up at night, day before, and make dressing. Miss Lucia Adams and several more of them. Actually, we can't call all the names because there's so many of them. And now we go to that school 2 days before the dinner, and we're cooking all day and all evening. So, I mean, it's just the faithful few that comes out and do what they can. There are others in the background wants to come, but they see they already feel, so they say, I'll do it next time.
Next time, that's right.
We got the best people around here.
Absolutely. Let me ask you now, Jake, for drop-off places for donation, those that may be watching that want to make a donation, where are some of the locations they can drop
those who
them
want to
off?
make donations, especially food donations, our money donation, Lake Dunson Robinson Funeral Home, at the Callaway Conference Center, at the station where I be on that night.
Okay.
And then WTRP radio station. I'm out there every day from 2 to 7.
Okay.
2 o'clock in the evening to 7 o'clock.
Okay.
That's across the street from Walmart and Burger King.
Okay.
Then the Good Seed Bookstore on North Greenwood Street.
All right.
And you make a check to Up All Night Charity.
Okay.
Then also we have some drop-off points up in Lafayette, Lynette, and West Point areas.
Okay. All right.
Like Givens and places like that, Parker's Food, but they do their separate, and they give me their donation stuff at one shot. We go and get it, be through with it, then we take their stuff,
Okay.
on that day.
All right. Well, very good, very good. And again, that's going to be on Thanksgiving Day, and that's going to be over at the Cannon Street School there on Cannon Street. And what time do they normally get started?
Well, we're going to try to start at 7 o'clock.
At 7 o'clock.
If anybody come before 7, somebody will be there, but I won't. But somebody will be there. Yeah. But I'll be there at 7 o'clock, and we'll stay there till all the food is gone.
Okay. All right.
We don't want no waste. We don't want to get nobody too much. We just want to do what's right.
That's right.
And give it to the right one who really in need.
That's right.
If we do that, we don't have a job.
There you go. And not only do you all have this been going on for 19 years for the Thanksgiving, but you guys turn around and do it again for Christmas
That's
too.
right.
So talk about that briefly as we get ready
we
to
do it
close
for
out.
we do it for Christmas the same way we do it for Thanksgiving.
Mm-hmm.
We ask for donations, ask for some food and stuff, but whatever left for Christmas, we use it for Dr. King's birthday.
Okay.
We don't ask for anything. We got 4 turkeys left and 2 pans of dressing left, and cranberry sauce. If that's all we got left, that's all we use.
Okay.
We don't ask for any donation, anything for that. And that is only for the disabled. We deliver to the disabled.
Okay.
That's in homebound. That's all that for.
Okay.
On Dr. King, we go to the disabled and homebound.
Okay. All
We
right.
look out for them.
Well, very good. Well, Jake, I want to thank you very much for coming on
Oh,
today.
thank you for having me
Thank
here.
you for the years of dedicated service to a cause that I know that a lot of people have benefited from. I know that we normally get the church menus and deliver on that day
Right.
as well. So I know that a lot of lives have been touched by the Up All Night and Feed the Hungry. So I wanted to say personally to you, thank you to Mr. Cox and all the other founders of
That's
this
right.
organization
That's right.
for bringing this idea together and serving the community.
And been a success with it.
And been successful
Been a
with it.
success.
So thank you very much for being on the show
Thanks
today.
for having
Jake.
me here.
All right. Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We'll be back for more City Week in just a moment. Welcome back, City Week, ladies and gentlemen. Now I am joined by Dr. Derek Lewis, the Chief Operating Officer from Explorations and Antiquity. Dr. Lewis, welcome to the show.
Glad to be here, Alton. Thank you.
Well, it's a pleasure to sit down with you. I can remember, just kind of reminiscing a little bit, there was a couple years ago that the Mayor and Council came out to the center there and
Did
had
a work session. That's right.
I mean, it was just a fascinating, center, and to be able to partake of the biblical meal is the thing that kind of stuck out in my mind. And I want to just talk a little bit about some of the things going on there. But before we get into that, talk a little bit about your role, if you don't mind.
Well, I'm the Chief Operating Officer. I've been in LaGrange for right at 20 years now. I pastored a church here for about 10 and a half years. And when the time for me to make a transition came, I had been doing some volunteering at the Explorations and Antiquity Center because I love biblical history. I love history, period. And I was lucky enough when I was in college to work for a professor who was an archaeologist. So I kind of got to combine those things. I was enjoying that. And then whenever I left the church, Dr. Fleming asked me if I would be willing to come on staff. So it was a great opportunity for me.
Well, very good. Again, it is such a fascinating place out there. Talk a little bit, and you mentioned Dr. History. Talk a little bit about the decision to locate the Antiquity Center here in LaGrange. How did that come about?
Well, Dr. Fleming, our founder, is a biblical archaeologist, been working in Israel for about 45 years, and he's responsible for 12 major excavations. And he had centers like this in Israel. But in about 2000, the Intifada came along and tourism dropped immensely. And he'd always wanted to have a center in the States. And he decided it was time to locate here. And so he wanted to be in the South and preferably closer to Atlanta because you can reach about 80% of the population of the United States within a 2-hour flight from Hartsfield. So it was a great opportunity. So he looked at different locations, and the Callaway Foundation, who is just, we're so lucky to have them. Callaway Foundation said that if we would locate in LaGrange, that they would do matching grants. And so the process began then of looking for a location. and getting everything set up and starting to actually do construction.
Oh, very good. And the center just has grown over the course of time. And I know that throughout the course of various times of the year, you all have special events. Talk a little bit about some of the things that you all have coming up special in reference to the Thanksgiving and the Christmas holiday.
Well, Christmas is really a special time for us because we get to talk about the birth of Jesus.
That's
and
right.
all of the events surrounding that. And so we do a couple of different things. Every Friday and Saturday night in December, we will have our annual Follow the Shepherd's Walks. Now, that's an opportunity for people to come and walk through our archaeological replicas. We have everything from actual goat hair tents to a small village to a Roman theater, tombs, a lot of things that people have read about but haven't seen. And all of them are actually very authentic. So Dr. Fleming is painstaking about the efforts we take to make sure that things are as close to what they would have originally been or what you would see today in Israel as they can possibly be. So we'll start by talking a little bit about the story of what's going on in Nazareth. Think about Mary as an unmarried engaged woman, young lady who has to go and tell her parents that she's pregnant under mysterious circumstances.
Right.
And then the whole journey all the way from there to Bethlehem, what took place in Bethlehem, and even the flight to Egypt from there. So it's a great opportunity for people to really hone in on those particular topics and events. And there's a lot of surprises along the way. You know, what about Mary's donkey? How many wise men were there? Things that we take for granted from the stories we've been told, we contrast with what the Bible actually tells us and what historical references give us.
Oh my goodness! You know, when you talk about that, it just draws you in because you're like, you know, I want to. We know what we've read, but then to kind of actually see it, you know, materialize right before your eyes is just kind of breathtaking there and stuff.
It is, and I like to tell people without giving away too much information at the point, but how many wise men actually came? Well, we always say 3, but the Bible doesn't tell us that. We say 3 because there were 3 gifts, and we think 1 gift per wise man. We know there's more than 1 because it says wise men, but it could have been 10 or 12. We don't know. So, so there's the little things that you pick up on, nuances that really make the story special.
Exciting. That's so exciting.
And then also this year, Dr. Fleming has put together a new multimedia program. We've done Under the Bethlehem Star the last couple of years, but this year he's put something new together. There are some brand new excavations at the Herodian. Now, the Herodian was a palace that King Herod made for himself, but before he died, he made changes to it and it became his resting place, his mausoleum. And there have been some brand new excavations, and Dr. Fleming just a few months ago was one of the first to be able to go in and see some of these new discoveries. And he's put a whole new program together that's going to contrast the reign of a very evil and cruel King Herod, who, by the way, the day before he died, killed one of his sons, with the peace and joy of the upcoming reign of King Jesus. So it's going to be a really fascinating story.
Oh my goodness. Now, and you're talking about, and I know most people probably know where you're located, Dr. Lewis, but go ahead and tell them where you're located if you don't mind.
We're at 130 Gordon Commercial Drive, so kind of across from the airport, and right near McDonald Oil, and right down from Pathways. So we've got a great location there.
Absolutely. Now, price to go in to view all these things that you're talking about. Talk about pricing it for these events, if you don't mind.
Well, during December, we run a very great special. If you come for a Follow the Shepherd's Walk, it's $10 for adults, $6 for children. And those happen, by the way, in the evening because it's better to do them at night. We have the star lit up and everything. It's really wonderful. But we do them at 6:15, 6:30, 6:45, and then at 7:30 is the show that I talked about, and then we do another walk at 8:15. But it's $10 for adults to do a Follow the Shepherd's Walk and $6 for children. If you do the Follow the Shepherd's Walk, you get the Sound and Light show for free. If you decide to come at 7:30 for the Sound and Light show and pay $10 for that or $6 for children, and you decide you want to stay for the Follow the Shepherd's Walk at 8:15, it's free. So $10 gets you 2 hours worth of events.
Oh my goodness.
It's pretty amazing.
Absolutely. That's very affordable too.
Absolutely.
Very affordable. Now, we were talking about the tomb there of Herod and everything, and I know that you all have a number of artifacts there, and I think that collection has grown. Talk a little bit about some of the things that they will be able to see.
Well, until last year, everything we had are replicas, but to really be a museum, you need true artifacts. So Dr. Fleming, because of his many, many years of archaeology service in Israel and his great relationship with the Israel Antiquities Authority, they offered us, if we would build the right kind of museum, that they would give us a collection, long-term loan collection of artifacts from Israel, the real thing. And so 4 years ago, we embarked upon this project. It took us almost 4 years, and we opened last September 15th to the public. We have 250 artifacts from the nation of Israel. Now, we're the only museum in the Southeast to have that. There's only 4 in the United States. We have the largest collection by far, and there's only 7 museums in the entire world that have a collection of artifacts from the Israel government. So it's a real privilege for us and for LaGrange to have this.
Absolutely, 250
artifacts, all the way from the Stone Age, all the way up through the Byzantine period. So we have everything from pottery from the time of Abraham and Sarah. We have tombs. We have some Roman period artifacts. Oil lamps. It's really an amazing collection.
Absolutely, it sounds absolutely fantastic, and we definitely want to get out there. And I want to come back out there. And I mentioned about the biblical meal earlier in my interview. Do you all still offer the biblical meals to?
Offer it all year long, and it's a wonderful experience because we teach not just do you get great food. There's 15 different food items, 4 complete courses of food, so nobody ever leaves hungry. But the best thing about it is the teaching, because while you're eating, we teach. I always joke with our guests that my mother told me not to talk with my mouth full, but it's okay for me to talk with your mouth full.
That's right.
And so we talk during that period of time. We talk about the history of Passover. We talk about the Last Supper and the implications of that for forgiveness and biblical concept of reconciliation in the Bible.
Absolutely. And I thoroughly enjoyed that and enjoyed all of the artifacts and basically touring the center there. But as we talk about all these things, and you talked about with the 250 artifacts that that are here, that are coming, what is next for Explorations in Antiquity?
Well, I can't tell you how excited we are about the next project. About 3 years ago, we were able to purchase the 7.5 acres that connect us to Old Airport Road. And the idea behind that was that at some point we would build a Sea of Galilee Center. But in discussions, Dr. Fleming has agreed that what we will build is a 450-foot long, 250-foot wide map of the nation of Israel that you can walk on. And so we will actually be able to take people all the way from the Dead Sea up to the Sea of Galilee. We will also have buildings in the future, an archaeological tell. It's going to be an amazing opportunity. We're going to have 2 25-foot high greenhouses, one with Sea of Galilee plants, one with desert plants in it, a small farming community for like an ancient farm. So there's going to be many different ways that we can actually take and bring the geography, the climate, and so many different parts of the Bible to life for people. We believe one of our most important jobs is helping people understand the ancient biblical context in today's times. It's very difficult sometimes for people to make that bridge, and that's our job, is to help them make that bridge.
And I think you all do it just fantastically too. And you're sitting here talking about having the map that you can actually walk and see the various things, the Sea of Galilee and all the other various things. Again, just sounds fantastic. Now, I wanted to ask about the hours of operation. We talked about the cost, but talk about the hours of operation if you don't mind.
Open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Okay.
And we're closed on Sundays and Mondays. But, and we are open year round. A lot of people wonder, are you open year round? Yes, we are open year round. Okay. We have a 25-foot wide cover over the walking area outside. So rain or shine, we're open.
Okay.
And we try to make it as comfortable as we can for our guests. And we have people, in January, it's a little bit slower, but we usually run specials in January, especially for folks that live locally.
Okay,
So.
well, very good. Well, definitely, again, I want to get out there and to partake of some of those artifacts, and can't wait to see the growth that's coming there as well, and just experience that as well. So I want to thank you, Dr. Lewis, for coming on the show today and sharing this information with us, and hopefully people will come out and take full advantage of the holiday events that will be going on there.
Yeah, we look forward to it. They just go to our website at diggingforit.com. That's DIGGIN, the number 4it.com, or call us at 706-885-0363. We're glad to help.
All right. Well, very good. Thank you so much for being on the show today.
Thank you. Appreciate
it. Thank you.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned. We're back for more City Week in just a moment. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to thank you for joining for City Week this week. My guests have been from Up All Night, Mr. Jake Sessions, as he talked about the upcoming Thanksgiving dinner that will be held at the Cannon Street Elementary School. So make sure that you come out, support that by either volunteering or offering donations, because this is for a very worthwhile cause. Also, ladies and gentlemen, I had on from Explorations in Antiquity, Dr. Derek Lewis as he talked about some events coming up over the Thanksgiving and the Christmas holidays. Make sure that you go out and take full advantage of all the wonderful artifacts and sights and scenes out at the Explorations in Antiquity. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope that you've enjoyed those interviews, and as always, I want to invite you back for more of City Week.